everybody, I'm Ryan, and today we're going to talk about the Pauper metagame over the course of the last week. And as with all my metagames, a little disclaimer, this is technically a winner's metagame since Magic Online only posts the top 32s of challenges, but that's okay because I think it's pretty reflective of the overall metagame. So if you look at the Pauper metagame, at the top is Burn with 11.5% of the meta. In second, Grixis Affinity with 8.3%. In third is Boggles with 7.3 of the format, and is fourth with Brutescale Combo with 6.3 of the format. I think it's kind of funny because 3 of the top 4 decks had bannings this past week, which is hilarious. But let's look at these decks as they were this previous week, starting with Jund Brutescale. Jund Brutescale is a deck that has recently been banned into oblivion because Basking Brutescale was banned, but essentially what it's attempting to do is play something like Sadistic Glee and either sacrifice an Eldrazi or put a +1/+1 counter on Basking Brutescale. This creates an Eldrazi Scion. You sacrifice it, add a mana, put a +1/+1 counter on Basking Brutescale. This makes another Scion. You can sack it for another mana, and then put a +1/+1 counter on Basking Brutescale. And this can go infinitely for infinite mana and infinite +1/+1 counters, which effectively means you win the game, which is awesome. Combined with Makeshift Munitions, you just kill the same turn, and it's just so good. This has been banned, so that explanation doesn't matter if you're watching this because you're interested in Pioneer, so we're just going to move on. The third most popular deck was Grixis Affinity. What Grixis Affinity is attempting to do is totally outvalue their opponents, drawing a ton of cards off Ichor Wellspring, off of Reckoner's Bargain, off of Deadly Dispute, which has just been banned, which is wild, off of Thoughtcast, while playing creatures for free or cheap like Mirror Enforcer and Refurbished Familiar, and playing awesome 1-for-1 removal to just outvalue and outcard their opponent over a huge amount of time. This deck's extremely powerful. I think this deck's going to continue to exist even though Deadly Dispute got banned, but definitely got a little bit weaker, needing to rely even more on Reckoner's Bargain. The second most popular deck is Boggles. Boggles is a deck where you play really cheap hexproof creatures so they can't be targeted and killed, and then suit them up and make them as tall as possible with cards like Ethereal Armor and like Rancor and whatever, Armadillo Cloak, stuff like that, and then be able to attack in just a few attacks and win the game. This is extremely hard to deal with without Edict effects, though it's very soft to Edict effects, so And the most popular deck in Pauper is Burn, which also got a ban in Kadotha Rebirth, so it's probably a pretty low chance that future Burn decks are going to be super artifact based. But basically what they're attempting to do is put as many creature on the battlefield as possible, deal as much damage as possible, play a Goblin Bushwhacker to pump up those creatures as they go wide, and then you either kill your opponent or they answer the threats, and then you finish them off with burn spells like Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, and Galvanic Blast. It's a tale as old as time. The deck's very fast and very hard to deal with. Though, again, like I said, Kadotha Rebirth got banned this week, so we'll see if the artifact theme sticks around, or if it's just more all-in burn. But that is the Pauper metagame. If you like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.